If you missed it, Melly got even with the prosecutors who wanted Bortlen to turn on him. A no communication order has been filed in the Melly trial, according to the news article. Melly and Bortlen are isolated by the order. There should be no lawyer or conversation, only quiet. The prosecutors are pressuring Bortlen to come forward by putting him and Melly on the same trial in the future.
Issue here, and you can try them together. It is to the benefit of the state to try them together. Just more efficient. You don't have to do things again and again. Do it all at once, and also you get a better chance of having them incriminate each other during the trial. It benefits the defense to sever it. That way they can point the finger at each other and get away with it. So this is what's going on. But I don't think it should be automatically severed because the state is seeking the penalty for Melly, because it's only the penalty phase of the trial that would be different, not the guilt phase. The guilt phase is the same. They're both capital crimes. You're seeking the penalty on one, not the other, but that goes into the second part of the trial, the penalty phase, only if Melly is found guilty.
If proving Bortlen was the one who consistently told the federal authorities false information about the incident and said he was the last person to see Juvian Sackchaser. An investigator even brought up the gunpowder that was found on Bortlen's hands.
Those were his lies. Courtland Henry shows up at Memorial Hospital, Miramar. You don't see him sitting there, but where you will see him sitting is in the driver's seat of a car with two bodies, a car riddled with bullets. And when he shows up with a change of clothing, change of shirt, powder residue on his hands, evidencing that he had discharged a firearm. And he lies. He lies about where the incident occurred. He lies about how it occurred. And he lies about not having a phone. I think it was Miss Bradley herself who said, everybody has a phone in his pocket, not Courtland Henry.
Showing it's always Bortlen who lied to the feds.
This infuriated Bortlen, who tweeted, "Mind games don't work on people like me," followed with a handshake emoji after Melly was given a mistrial. The questioning of Bortlen the night of the crime, when he lies to the police to cover up for Melly, even though it seems like he's taking some kind of deal.
Okay, tell me what happened.
Man, I was playing music, getting off the exit. I was already getting sleepy, but almost home. You know what I'm saying? And like, just out of nowhere, like, I just heard, you know what I'm saying? So, and I ducked down, you know what I'm saying, in the car.
Hey, well, Ashley,
and I almost crashed the car.
Let me back you up a few minutes. Where were you coming from?
I was coming from the studio, from Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale studio. Which way did you take?
I took I-75, 595 to
75.
Expressway.
Then you took.
Even though the cops could see that his tale didn't add up, Bortlen made an effort to maintain his confidence, but he would ultimately be exposed for lying.
Here's the hard part where we're having a hard time to understand, is that we shut down that entire area and we had officers shoulder to shoulder walk it out. They didn't find as much as one shell casing. They didn't find one piece of glass, nothing. Nothing to what you said adds up. And it's hard.
Bro, I'm telling you, bro, that's the class.
I mean, for whatever reason, your two friends, are these your good friends?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. These my like,
these your two, I'm assuming close friends.
Yeah, we got.
And you're doing them in service by not telling us the truth.
I'm telling you the truth, man. I don't like. How? What do you want?
How do you make shell casings disappear?
I don't know. How can I tell you about a shell?
This was where Portland's interview went south, since the police didn't trust his account and started cutting him off.
I told y'all the story, and that's it, bro. I don't even want to talk about it, like, cause I told y'all. I don't know.
Okay, just so you know, all right, because you're saying, well, I don't want to talk anymore. There's going to be a lot more questions. There's, and we're not trying to piss you off. The thing is, we don't know your friends.
Yeah.
So the reason we have to ask all these questions, because the more we know about your friends, your lifestyle, your friend's lifestyle, your friends, his friends, and the circumstances surrounding today, the more you know, the easier it's going to be for us to try and solve this.
At this point, the officer usually tries to restart the conversation and asks about other aspects of the evening, such as what transpired during the...
I'm driving, ducking for my life, trying to make sure I don't get hit. And you telling me, you telling me about shit. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to make sure I don't get hit. I'm driving. I'm trying to make sure I don't get hit. You know what I'm saying? What I'm gonna be worried about? You know what I'm saying?
I know it's not for you to worry about.
That shit crazy, bro.
But if you tell me it happened there's got to be some evidence there. There's going to be broken glass, just like there's broken glass over here when you guys open the doors and stuff like that. Okay, there's going to be broken glass over there when the windows got out. There's going to be casings from the people at your car. Okay, there's going to be evidence over there. Okay, right now there's nothing. I kind of think I know what happened because
During their brief interrogation, the officer asked, explicitly, if Bortlen knew who committed the crime. Would he tell the police?
by just telling me the truth, even if it's something that I don't want to hear, but I respect the truth rather than BS, okay? And it's a simple question. If you knew who did this, okay? You may or may not know. If you knew who did this, would you tell me? It's either a yes or no question. Answer.
Honestly.
Yeah, honestly. The truth. You wouldn't?
Because I wouldn't want to be a part of it.
Bortlen doesn't provide a definite answer. Instead, he shakes his head, worried that if he lied, his voice might have changed pitch under pressure, which is what an interrogator is always about. Must be able to read body, language, and recognize dishonesty. But Bortlen's failure to respond by shaking his head no was an obvious, clear indication that Bortlen is hiding something. But the latest Melly case news stated that a judge ruled on May 12th that the Florida rapper must stay behind bars until the retrial begin in September. He had fought the case in which he is accused of killing Juvian Sackchaser for 6 years, and they thought he would be released after being among his 6 charges. Aside from bond
We just still praying. I know I said I would give, I'll keep everybody updated with what's happening. I know right now we're waiting. So basically the judge is going to do, I guess, a written order. So we're just waiting, and that order can come any minute, or it could come tomorrow. I don't know. So we're just waiting. We're just waiting. So everybody just keep praying, keep having faith. Oh, Tessa, stop. I've been crying too. It's been a long time coming, you know.
Melly is in custody for 2,300 days without a bond or conviction on one of his 6 counts. Accusations. It seemed that everything was going smoothly for Melly despite a previous mistrial because he was able to secure bail on at least one, his best friend, Bortlen, and his ex-girlfriend, Mariah Hamilton, were the prosecution's main targets instead of his charges. Having fled overseas since Melly's first trial, Mariah has now returned, allowing them to use her as a witness in court.
Mariah Hamilton is spending her first day at the Broward County Jail. She has no arrest record until now. U.S. Border Patrol agents arrested her at Miami International Airport Monday after she arrived on an international flight. Court records show Hamilton was ordered to testify in Demon's first trial in 2023.
To be released, Mariah had to agree to testify in the Melly trial, which she did, which is terrible. For when Melly accepted the deal, she wrote on Facebook, "I love you all so much, my village. Thank you. The plan of God. Not in my possession, but the federal government allegedly has a lot of evidence that Nelly was a witness. Obtained Mariah's passport by deceiving her, and a witness tampering charge carries a life sentence. Bars. He may not have taken Juvie and Sackchaser out."
State filing 6 new charges against Demons and 2 others who were allegedly involved. The charges include tampering with a witness, directing the activities of a criminal, solicitation or conspiracy to commit tampering, and unlawful use of a 2-way communication device. Now, a couple of those charges actually carry a life in prison sentence if there's a conviction.
Melly has been denied access to a phone for several months due to his tampering with the jail phones. Even his mother acknowledged this in an interview, saying it's
My son has not been convicted of anything, and even other inmates that have been convicted or anything, they have the right to use a telephone. They have a right to be allowed to write letters to their loved ones, to receive their mail. They hold his mail, they don't give it to him.
The decision to not post bail, however, can be appealed by Melly's lawyers reframe their case for the judge if it comes out that he was arrested for interfering, with witnesses using jail phones. Melly's legal team posted a $300 bond that was not specified and will be paid by his record label. Melly's attorney mostly used his mother's testimony to show that he isn't receiving humane treatment in jail, so they assured the judge that if he was released on bond, Melly would be under home arrest, wear an ankle monitor, and have security on duty around the clock to watch over him.
You saw Melly's statement just saying how he's been hurt, how he's scared for his life. As a mother, how did that make you feel?
It's heartbreaking. It made me feel completely helpless. Broward Sheriff's Office definitely needs to be investigated. I mean, they are making up their own rules. We tried to go to court about this situation. The judge really doesn't have any jurisdiction when it comes to the jail, because we actually had a hearing about the mistreatment of him, and the jail they make their own rules. And I don't think that's fair, because I know that they need to answer to someone too.
The GPS data from the night it happened and his ex-girlfriend's text message about Melly saying there were people chasing her were even highlighted.
That would be the part where he's saying that someone just shut the car up and was trying to shoot them. So I asked him if he was okay, where he was, and he's like, there's a car coming behind him, like hiding. He was like, there's some, yeah. He's like, yeah, there's some. I think they're still out here or something. So I'm like, are you okay? He's like, I'm okay. I said, well, where are Sack and Juvie? And he said, I don't know if they're in the car. I think they're...
The fact that they never even found the gun, which Melly's lawyers say the people who did the drive-by would have stolen, is further proof of Melly's innocence.
The first thing is I didn't have a firearm, so I can't know which firearm I'm going to use in order to replicate any of my tests. So I can't make tests for this determination because I don't know what firearm was used.
Okay.